After college, I moved to a town nearby. I moved in with my girlfriend at the time. We broke up, couldn't afford my own place anymore, so moved in with my mom. And then some friends invited me out to Maryland to come live with them. They said there was like a lot of jobs out there. After that didn't really pan out, I came back and got a job in the city here and moved in with my dad. That's where I am now.
Julian's story isn't unusual. A third of millennials in the U.S. are living with their parents. That's the most since the census began tracking it in 1968. It's also more than in 2009, in the middle of the recession. Economists are surprised. The U.S. economy has come roaring back. The jobs market is a lot better. So why are young people still staying at home? Chris Mayer, a professor at Columbia, has some ideas.
People aren't doing quite as well as the unemployment rate suggests. People, while they're getting jobs, are not getting jobs that pay as much as they'd like. They're often not getting jobs in the careers that they originally trained for. And so the number of people living at home, I think with student loans high, with rents rising, which they've been, and with housing credit being tight, the combination of those things makes it tough to move out on your own and to buy or even rent an apartment. And facing that choice, I think some people have said, you know what, mom or dad's couch doesn't seem so bad, or actually it's not their couch, it's their old now current bedroom.
Growing up in the housing crash has also made this generation more cautious. They don't want to repeat the mistakes that they saw.
I mean, if you asked me before the crash, if I was going to buy a condo, I would say no, I'm going to buy a house, you know. But now, because of that, I would say I'm like, well, maybe I should go condo first. I'm way more cautious about where I'm going to put that investment and how much that investment is going to be.
Homeownership among millennials has been declining for years since the recession. But surveys show that most young people do still want to buy a home eventually. They just aren't ready yet. And living at home can be a way to save money.
I think people are going to continue to aspire to buy and own homes, but they're facing economic challenges which make it much harder to do. So I don't think it's an issue of desire. I think they're facing a world which makes it harder to save, which makes it harder to make mortgage payments and get credit, and as you said, puts people at risk of moving. And so home ownership may not have the stability, particularly for young people, that it once did, but it still has, there are many, many benefits associated with it.
For now, millennials are still choosing to rent or live at home. In cities like New York, it's even harder to buy a house. Millennials often flock here for jobs in finance, technology, and the arts. But even with a good job, prices are so high that it can be unaffordable to buy a house. Rents are also at all-time highs, meaning a lot of young people come here and live with roommates, and this can last well into their 30s. Nicolaou, Financial Times, New York.